What is up, everybody? This is Jacob with Phone Flipping A to Z. I've got my good friend, my good buddy, my good pal, and a fellow phone flipping coach and mentor here, Joe. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just hoping it warms up soon. How are you doing?
Just trying to survive from this coronavirus, you know? It's getting dangerous out there.
It's scaring me a little bit. I don't know about doing the meetups. Now I'm kidding, but
Yeah,
it's scaring me.
you have to Lysol each phone before you inspect it. I actually charge a Lysol fee. If they don't bring their own Lysol, I charge an additional $5. Do you do the same?
I do the same exact thing, dude. Same exact index it. But yeah, man.
Introduce yourself, because this is going on to my viewers on my YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if everybody knows you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, guys, what's up? My name is Joe Thompson. I'm 22 years old. I currently live in South Carolina. I started phone flipping about 2 years ago, but I've always really been, flipping electronics, clothes, just everything in the book, start to finish. I've probably flipped it. And then, one day I remember it was one of the first things I've ever flipped. It was an iPhone 7 Plus a few years back. And I can just remember probably took me about 10 minutes to go pick it up, sold it, made about $150 profit just like that. And
Yeah.
I had
You were
like
hooked.
I was hooked. I had like a big stack of clothes I was selling on eBay, and I'm like, this is way more scalable. And ever since then, man, I've been completely hooked on phone flipping. So last year we did over 6 figures in sales, and
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you. So I've always I've wanted to make money without being at a job. So I would start doing these things like I saw these videos on YouTube of people who would go to like thrift stores or Ross or like discounted clothing stores and buy shoes and then try to sell them on eBay. And I was like, this is going to be perfect. And that was almost 2 years ago that I did that. And the first day I bought 5 pairs of shoes. I kid you not, I still have all 5 pairs of those shoes. So I
really,
realized, but like 2 weeks later, I got into phone flipping. And why it's so much better is because everybody needs a phone. Everybody's got a phone. You can literally, and me and you both do this. We can go get a phone today in our town, and we know for a fact that we can sell it within 30 minutes, right?
100%.
And everybody can do that because we've got eBay. We've got our own private buyers. We've got our own direct buyers that we give to our course members, that we give to our students.
Mm-hmm.
And it's as easy as I know exactly how much they're going to pay me. If they're paying me $400, I'm going to offer $300 and I'm going to make that $100. Right. I love it. It's so easy. That's why I think phone flipping is one of the best niches for reselling products because everybody's got a phone. Everybody needs a phone. Phones get old. Phones get outdated. Phones get cracked. All of that. Would you agree?
I completely agree with you. And you just had a great point. Like a good thing about, what we kind of, I know you teach in your course, I teach in my course is just like, you already know what you're going to offer based on how much you want to really make, right? So the profit is made in the sale. Like when you buy the phone, you already know ahead of time, whether that's online listings like eBay or Swappa, or you're going the private buyer route, you already kind of have an idea. And that's what makes this business, so lucrative for so many people.
100%. No doubt. I know myself when I got started phone flipping, I know where I was just as a person, financially and everything before I started. And I saw how quickly everything just changed. Where were you at before phone flipping? Like what were you doing? And how quickly did things change? If they change, because for some people it might not change. For you teach phone flipping. I see you got a whole bunch of iPhones behind you. I'm guessing things changed for you. What happened? Like what was that like?
Yeah, no, that's another great question. Honestly, man, I was in college. Everybody around me had a job, and I was just really dreading getting that normal, whatever job, where it was like a part-time. I was a full-time student, and I kind of just wanted something that was going to let me be extremely free without going in, listening, working for somebody else.
Yeah.
So, like I said, man, I started flipping phones, and since then, it's allowed me to get a better car. It's allowed me to have a nice apartment. It just gives you that comfort. It gives you that pillow. Like
Yeah.
there's really no scale to how large you can honestly grow this business. So that's what is so appealing to me, and that's why I still do it.
Yeah. So think how long did it take from you being like a broke college student that's going to college full time, and you graduated, right? Like you weren't one of those people who, because people are under the assumption you've got to choose one or the other. You either go to school and you go to school and you graduate, or you drop out, you pursue this phone flipping self-employment thing. It's not always like that. I go to school. How long? So you were a broke college student, full time in college. How long did it take for you to see the life changes where you can be in the apartment that you're in now, which I've been to his place? It's amazing view, everything. When did that change for you?
Honestly, man, within the first few months, like I said, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this. If you don't follow me, follow my story, but I literally started with a few $100s. I think it was $600, $700, $800. And in my college dorm, where, it's like, how college dorms are extremely small. My friends would go out, they'd work after, work all night, work all the time. And I'm going out 3-4 hours a day, not even, sometimes even less, and making double, even triple what they're making. So I kind of knew right when I started, man, like I had something here. Bills started getting easier to pay. Just everything. My confidence started growing again. And, it just honestly definitely 100% changed my life to the point where, like I said, and it's not to brag. This is not to be, all out there, but we did well over 6 figures in sales. I mean, just in 2019 alone. And, this year, I'm trying to hit that $500,000 mark for real. So,
I like it.
Yep. But how about you? How did you, really get into phone flipping? I know you kind of explained it a little bit before, but life change.
So when I was 19. Yeah, I'm 21 now. I was 19 at the time, and I was working at a bank, and I loved it. Well, I thought I loved it. I loved it at first, and then I kind of realized I don't want to be in an office for the rest of my life for an extra 30 years, an extra 25 years, because the moment that it really hit me was so in school, for example, we get holidays off. We get 4 weeks off for Christmas. We get the week off for Thanksgiving. And I was working, this was like my first, real job, like real job. And I was working 2 days before Christmas. I had to work the day after Christmas. I had to work 2 days before New Year's, the day after New Year's. I had to work the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday. And I was just like, I was spoiled because I knew this life growing up. I was like, I just thought we always got holidays off. And I was like, you don't do that. So I was like, I don't want to just do, I don't want to be somewhere like this forever. So,
exactly.
So what I did, and guys, so I'm just telling you about myself now. We're going to give you some gold nuggets. We're going to give you some stuff. But we just want you to see kind of where we started from, because maybe you're in this position too. We want you to see how quickly things can change. So I remember I learned about phone flipping over the summer, and then I tried a little bit. I'd flipped one phone here, one phone there, and I started to realize the potential that it had. And so finally, it was 2 Decembers ago, I was like, I'm done with my job. I don't want to work anymore. And I had the luxury because I was still living with my parents and everything. So I had the luxury. I didn't have bills that I had to pay, but I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try this on my own. I'm going to try to do my own thing. Okay. So I started that December. It was December 1st was literally my first day self-employed. And my goal for the month, I wanted to hit $10,000 in sales for the month. And I actually have that pulled up. Let me share my screen here. Can you see my screen?
I can see it, brother. Yeah, I can. That's awesome.
So,
great. Wow.
So this is December 1st to January 1st of 2 years ago. It's 2020 now. This was 2018. Gotcha. So that month, I was just like, I want to hit 10K in sales. What ended up happening is I met a good private buyer, somebody that is able to buy all of these phones from me at one time. And I was like, oh, game over. Like, if I know that I have somebody that I can for sure sell these phones to, then there's no way that I'm like, I'm going to get any phone that I can. So that first month, I did $26,000 in sales, and I was like, dude, this is hot stuff. Like this is where it's at. But I was a little hesitant. I was like, maybe it was a good month. It was end of year. It was Christmas. People are getting rid of phones. People are getting new phones. And then the next month, let me see if I can pull up the next month. And then the next month happened. Let me pull up these stats real quick. So this is January 1st to February 1st of last year, of 2019. And I went from 26K, which I thought was hot stuff.
Damn.
Got to 57K. And I was like, this is the business. This is it for me. So from there on, it was game over. So I've got my own private buyer that I know I can sell all of these phones to. You have your own. You have your own buyer just like this.
Yeah.
That you can sell. Yeah.
I think private buying is definitely in this time, this day and age, the way to go. You send them your stuff within the day, within a few hours sometimes. If you form a good connection with these guys, they'll pay you straight up. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and so notice we said private buyers. That's really not the case anymore. When we got into phone flipping, they were private. Like you didn't know who these guys were. You couldn't find them. You had to be referred to them. It's still somewhat like that. But what I do, and I'm pretty sure you do the same thing, the private buyers that we use, we just let our students use them because it's too easy. Why you can sell on eBay, you can sell phones locally, but I'm telling my students, you know exactly, let me give you somebody that can buy as many phones as you have on any day of the month, and you can get paid that day before you even ship the phone.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful, man. Some of them have prepayment with PayPal, and then some of them, you want to avoid the fees, ship them up front, you're good to go. But once you guys are in the course, in the mentorship program, you're going to have full access to the exact private buyers that me and Jacob, use. And I don't know about you, Jacob, but that literally off the bat 10x my business, probably more than 10x, man.
Yeah, because so the thing is, for me to do $57,000 worth of sales on eBay, that's probably 150 to 200 phones, I would say. Just estimating. I don't know. I didn't do the math. So I would have had to ship phones 150 times to 150 different people, go to the post office multiple times with multiple packages. But instead, I did those 150 to 20 phones, sold them to one person. And if you look, I only did 20 transactions. So that means I only shipped stuff 20 times. And really, back then, the reason I had to ship stuff so many times is because I had $4,000 worth of phones that I picked up on Monday, and I needed money for Tuesday so I could keep flipping phones. So I would sell them on Monday, ship the phones, have the money. I'd do it again on Tuesday. Now what we do, we just ship once a week maybe.
Yeah, once, twice a week, really depending on, how the week's going and stuff like that. But private buyers, guys, for those of you who are not that familiar, they make your life so much easier. And I know I'm speaking for both of us here. It is essential. It is key, to have these private buyers working with us, working with you,
100%. So now that people know about us, they know where we were, they know where we've come from. Let's give these guys some gold. They've been watching you and me for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Let's give them some tangible advice that they can go, that they can execute, that they can do today, that they can do tomorrow. What is if you had to give one tip to, we won't even start with new phone flippers. Just a normal guy flips a handful of phones a month. What advice would you give them to get where we are, to get where you've got 6 phones sitting behind you? You're going to go in the morning to Waffle House in your Mercedes. What advice would you give them to get to your level? Because a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you were where they are.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's a good question, man. Honestly, when I was first starting out, I wish I kind of had someone like you or kind of like me, kind of guiding us through. But, phone flipping kind of just became, not like the new wave, but something that you can really make a serious amount of income from. So if you guys are new, or even if you've been flipping, I would just say get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to look stupid. don't be afraid to, go out and meet people and network.
Yeah.
More specifically, message everybody you can. You never know if someone's desperate for the cash. You never know what their situation is. You just never know. So message everybody you can. Keep going and going and just pounding and message. OfferUp, Craigslist, all this stuff that we tell you guys to use. It just really is about how many people can you message on each platform, and how many deals. That's going to equate to how many deals you guys are really going to be able to get.
Yeah. Now,
what would you say? Sorry to cut you off. Is there another question?
well, yeah. Let me ask you. I know because, and I've kind of been blessed. I was one of the first people in my town to really start flipping phones, but I saw as soon as I was having success, 3, 4, 5 other people popped up out of nowhere. For me,
Yeah.
it didn't matter. I was just doing better. Like, I didn't see any drop off, even though I had competition that would come in. What would you say to somebody that either hasn't started yet or is about to start or has started and is just picking up one or two phones a day or a week or a month? What would you say to them if they tell you, listen, I get on Facebook and I see 4 or 5 other phone flippers in my area. It's too saturated. I can't get the phones, and somebody else is getting the phones. What would you say to them?
Honestly, I would just say, people buy from people they like. It's a simple sales strategy. I've experienced that. You've experienced that. Like I said before, man, it's all coming back to getting out of your comfort zone. But just message as many people as you can. I personally do not think that this industry is too saturated. I think that you guys need to get in as soon as possible. Mainly, tax refund season. People are going to be buying phones. People are going to be selling phones.
Yeah, that's a great point. Now's probably the best time of the year. Would you say? Now and probably December, January. But now especially because what do people do when they get their tax refund? They either get a new car or they get a new phone. All these iPhones just released. So here's the beauty. If somebody's getting a new phone, that means they've got an old phone that they're going to sell to somebody, or they're just going to keep it laying around. So now, I would agree with that. Now's one of the best times to really. So would you right now, for somebody that hasn't even started yet, do you think? Would you say this might be like one of the best times of the year to really get into this business?
Oh, absolutely, hands down. This is, in my opinion, the best. You can argue, around all these other times of the year. I think right now, tax refund season, people are buying and selling. It's just, look at sales. Look at this stuff from last year. I know this month, last year, and the next month are just like my highest amount of sales that I was doing because you got tax refunds, you got people buying, you got people selling. And back to your question on competition in my area, I have noticed a little spike in, since I started phone flipping, since people are seeing the ads, et cetera, but it hasn't affected my business because I'm doing all of the right things. Now, I'm not perfect by any means. I make mistakes, Jacob. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But once you have a process down and once you've been in this game, you're going to have people that are going to be hitting you up like this. And that's why I think, this business is, I've said this in some of my other videos, one of, if not the best to really start in 2020, whether you're an entrepreneur, you've had businesses, et cetera, just anybody from all walks of life. And, what a better time to get started than now.
And I agree. We're entrepreneurs. I am, you are. But I don't even think it's just for entrepreneurs. It can be for somebody that's working a regular job, but they just want an extra $500 a week. $500 a week in phone flipping, that's nothing. Would you agree?
I completely agree. You think it's something when you first start out and you don't have that cash flow, but then you start getting into it, you're like, I need to freaking 10x this. Let's go.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the beauty, like if I need $500, let's say I've got a bill, an unexpected bill that comes up and I need to come up with $500. I just know I need to get another 5 or 6, maybe 7 phones this week. And that bill's erased. Like that's why I love phone flipping. And that doesn't even, I've got repeat customers who bring me 5 phones in a month. So that's beauty. Like I've got somebody else paying my bills. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense to me. And I'm the same exact way. I know, obviously set goals and stuff like that, but if you need this money for this, you want to take a trip, it's really how many people you're messaging, how hard you're going, and how you're putting yourself out there. So like I said, comfort zone, you agree with that too, but it's just such a lucrative business. I just wish more people, really knew about this business and this whole model, that it's not that hard. You just have to have, the right steps. And I personally wish that I had someone like myself or like you that knew and has been really, really killing it in phones to, kind of talk to and, just everything like that, man.
Like when you started, you think you would have gotten from point A to point B quicker if you had a mentor?
Oh, 100%. I didn't know there's a good amount of stuff to learn in phone flipping. And I like to say, this is my saying, like, you learn from people who are currently doing it. And, you have all these other coaches, you have everything else. But really, I think that the point that a lot of them were missing is, like, a lot of them will just throw you a course. And, not talk to you, kind of avoid you. I know major props to you. You are just so interactive with your whole community. So that's awesome on your end. And, I know I am too, for the people that
100%
program. Know that
there's a difference between selling somebody a course and selling them. I consider a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you and I, we're fine. We're good to go. We sell courses, we sell mentorship, but if we never sold one more course or one more mentorship, we would still be fine because of the business that we have built up. I know when I'm talking to someone that's trying to invest in a course, though, I know they might not be in that position. That $300, that $500, that $600, that might be all they've got. And I want to see them have a lifestyle change because of that. I want to see them see the numbers that we were showing on PayPal earlier.
Yeah.
Something that I think, just in regards to mentorship, is that successful and rich people, they pay money to save time, right? I've spent in the past 12 months well over 10 grand in mentorship. Successful people pay money to save time. And I think people that aren't as successful, I think that they save time, or I think they use time to save money. And it takes them 6 months to even get started because they didn't invest in somebody. They didn't know, they didn't have anybody that was able to teach them the trade and teach them everything from point A to point B, from A to Z. And aside from that, let's not forget, phone flipping is not too complicated, but there are definitely some costly mistakes that you wouldn't want to make. If you don't know how to check for this or that on an iPhone, you might be losing a few $100s, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I completely agree.
So,
real quick. Well, I just want to kind of come back to this because obviously, us both being experienced flippers, resellers, whatever you want to say. What would you say, Jacob, are some of like your tips that you first thought, like some of your main tips? What I'm trying to say is that you knew, that you now know, that you didn't know back then. Sorry, tongue twister. But yeah, like if you have any tips.
I'll give out a tip right now that whether you're experienced, whether you've been in this for 5 years, whether you've been in this since the start of this video, I will give out, I won't even say a beginner tip. I'll give out an advanced tip right now. Something that this will explode your business. I kid you not. If you don't know this yet, you do this tomorrow and you will see a difference. You can literally get on Microsoft Word on your computer. You can type out your information, or you can get business cards. That's preferable. But if you don't have business cards yet, go ahead, just type up your information, put it on Microsoft Word, okay? Go to your local Walmart. I kid you not. Go to your local Walmart. Ask to speak to the manager that is on duty, okay? Ask to speak to them. They'll come out. It might take a little bit, but they will come to you because they see you as a paying customer, okay? You tell them, listen, my name's Jacob. I'm with Jay's Buybacks. I purchase cell phones from people. I know you and your employees have got a lot of extra cell phones that maybe you're not using. Maybe they're old cell phones. Maybe they're cracked. Maybe you don't use them anymore. And as a manager, I know that just from me talking from one person to the other, I know that your employees could use some extra cash. So take these cards, which is what I give out now. But if you don't, you can clip up pieces of paper with your information. Say, put this in your break room and tell people that if they've got any phones for sale, I'll be back at the end of the week and I can give everybody cash for their phones. Or They don't have to bring them to work. They can call me up and I can meet them today. And I can give them cash for their phone. The reason that's such a good trick, Walmarts have hundreds, and it's just Walmart's just an example. Walmarts have hundreds of employees. Okay, so let's just do the math. If there are 100 employees, which there are a lot more, and depending on your size, a Walmart could have 300 employees easily. 100 employees, and let's say you just buy 10% of those phones. So do you just buy phones from 10% of the people? And let's say they only bring you one phone. That's 10 phones right there. If you're making $100 a phone, that's $1,000. If you're making 50 a phone, that's 500 right then and there.
That is a great tip, great strategy. That's awesome. I love that.
And you can do that with any business. So for those people that think they've tried out Facebook Marketplace and it didn't work, they tried out Craigslist, it didn't work. They tried out OfferUp and it didn't work. They can't figure out how to get anything to work. Go to a business and say, listen, I would like to offer a service to your employees, and tell them that exact thing. And if you go to every business in your town, you've got no competition. I don't know anybody else that does that. You've got no competition. You will get phones. Think of it simply this way. You can walk to 10 businesses within 5 minutes of each other. Okay, 10 businesses, they've all got employees, they've all got phones. There's so much potential in doing that. If you're advanced and you've never tapped into that, do it today. After you watch this video, tomorrow, tonight, if you got time, whenever, go to a Walmart. I have a call center here in Valdosta where I live, and it's got literally like 500 or 600 employees. I used to work there in high school. Yeah. And it's the jackpot, so that's a very tangible tip that I would give. The other tip I have is just get started. Like if you haven't started yet,
get in.
You got it. You do it now. Now is a great time because it's tax season. Do it now, because for me, for example, I showed you guys, you saw it with your own eyes. In December, I made $26,000, $27,000, whatever it was. I knew about phone flipping in June. I learned about it in June. So I waited 5 or 6 months without taking action. I look back. How further along would I be now if I had taken action 5 months earlier? Think about all that money compounding over and over. Think about the repeat business. I would just say, if you think it's too saturated, it's not. Just jump in. If you think you can't do it, you have no idea. That's why you have us. That's why you have mentors. That's why we do what we do. But I think the biggest tip, and let me know if I'm wrong, get going. Like, start doing it. Don't wait. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is successful people take massive action.
Couldn't have said it better. I think massive action is the thing that separates the winners from the losers. You guys, you're not going to get it perfect on the first time. You're not going to have 5-star ads the first time. At least I know I didn't. I know Jacob probably struggled with some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's perfect. But get your foot in the door and just take action. That's what really matters here. Every day you're just going to be trying to better yourself. You're going to have me, you're going to have Jacob, to talk to if you're in our mentorship programs, etc. Yeah. But really just take action. It sounds so simple. But it's hard for a lot of people. It's hard for them to get out of their comfort zone and take action. And Jacob, one last thing I just wanted to comment on. The last thing that you said is, I know you made a video about this a little while ago, and it's something that I've been doing for the past year and a half, is, guys, invest in yourself, okay? Get the little magnetic cards and go on every single Eco ATM in your town and plop them on there. If the managers of Walmart, you see they're taking them off, just go up to them and say, hey, man, I can give you a few bucks per day. I can give you a few bucks every other day. Even if you offer them 10, 15 bucks a week cash, a lot of the times that's what I've been doing. And they'll leave it up there. They make sure that no one takes it off. They're, kind of looking at it and stuff like that. So the Eco ATM, that can be a gold mine, and you've got to get those magnetic cards. Invest in yourself. It's a little investment, 50, 60 bucks, depending on how many you want, but it's such a good tip.
Or honestly, because depending on where you are, there could be legalities to that. Let's say that people might say, oh, that's illegal. Okay, then let's wait. First of all, guys, anything that we say, don't sue us, okay? Anything that we say, like, you look this up yourself. But let's say you say, Joe, that's immoral, that's unethical, that's illegal. I'm not gonna put my information. For those of you that don't know what an eco ATM is, it's when you go into a Walmart or you go into a mall or a major store and you look to your left or you look to your right, and there's literally an ATM where you can put your phone into it and they give you cash for it. They don't give you a lot of cash for your phone, so it's not competition. What you can do, if you even say, Joey, I don't want to put my information on a machine, stand next to it. What I've done is there's always a bench or a table or something around there. Just literally wait for people to go to the ATM, say, hey, I'll pay you $5 more than this ATM will. And then you can sell it to one of our private buyers for $30 to $100 extra. Keep that money right then and there. And people are going to those ATMs every single day. So that's personally, if anybody ever says, I absolutely can't make money phone flipping, I know they haven't tried. Go to an eco ATM. Go to a Walmart. Go to a call center. I mean, go to there's so many possibilities. I just personally, I don't have patience for people that say, I absolutely can't make money, because there's so many things that you can do.
There's so many different avenues kind of to go off what you just said. And obviously, guys, it might be different in your town, in your city, et cetera. So definitely, check in with what you got to do. But at least where I'm around, the South Carolina area, they don't really care if you kind of let them know and you're polite. So, be polite, be nice to these people. And like Jacob just said, if you can't do that, I would recommend it. If you can't do that, and it's kind of in the gray area, then like you just said, sit around, you're hanging out on your phone, whatever, and you're just waiting for those people to come up. Because I promise you, Jacob's done this, I've done this, when it's a very, very slow week, I'll just go sit by the eco ATM, no shame, make a few $100s just by sitting there and coming up behind the person, guy or girl, hey, this is what this is going to pay you. Let me give you $10 more and let me pay you cash. And it works wonders. So
another tangible tip. So what was your major when you were in college?
My major was criminology, dude. I was not a big fan of college. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
You just wanted the degree.
I just wanted a degree. Man. I've always been, doing entrepreneur type stuff. College was. What was your major? Finance?
Yeah. So finance and accounting.
Numbers. Yeah.
I say that to say, if you are a business student and you are currently in school, this is a perfect opportunity, what I'm about to tell you. If you're not and you're in college, this is still a great opportunity. Whenever I was in my business classes and we were in these lecture halls and there'd be a few hundred people in there, professors love when their students are practicing a type of business, or professors love talking about a business and seeing a business tangibly. What you can literally do if you are a student, or if you are a business student, or maybe you're just a student who's not a business student, you can just contact those business professors. You can say, hey, I'd love to tell your class about my business so that they can see that I'm tangibly doing something and making money, and that they can, I'd love to explain to them how the cash flow works, how this and that works. But I'd love the opportunity just to speak to your class and tell them, hey, like, if you've got any phones, I'll buy them. So classes are usually Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. You go to their Monday 8 a.m. class, say, hey guys, I just wanted to tell you all about my business. By the way, if you've got iPhones, if you've got tablets, if you've got old Macs, like, I'll be back Wednesday and I will have cash with me and I will buy all of those from you. Because I can't stand when people say there's too much phone flipping competition. There's too much, it's too saturated. Okay, is your competition doing that? Let me ask you that. And the answer is no. But you can do that. And guys, think about, this is just pure logic. If you're talking to broke college kids, they've got electronics. Half the time their parents bought the electronics for them, so they'll let them go for cheap. Just offer that to them. It's such an easy and tangible opportunity that you can do today, that you can do tomorrow, that you can go and do next week.
Yeah, no, that is an awesome point right there. Completely great point right there. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's a great example of, guys, everybody, for those of you who have messaged me and Jacob, et cetera, and I've had questions, guys, a lot of people say, is it too saturated? Is this too saturated? get in and find out. That's what I tell you, because if you're not going to get in soon, more phones for myself, more phones for Jacob, more phones
Yeah.
for the people that we kind of mentor, etc. But guys, it's not too saturated, but you really want to get your foot in the door. That's what separates good entrepreneurs from the ones that are poor. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. So, for example, my town, it's relatively small. The town I live in is literally like a few hundred people, but I do most of my business in a town over. It's like 50,000 people. Okay.
Gotcha.
And people even think in my town, if I've got 4 or 5 other guys, for example, that are buying and selling phones, they would think the competition is too much. But what I say is, in my town, there's 5 or 6 car dealerships. There's competition, sure, but is that oversaturated? No. Everybody's going to make their money. It all just comes down to who's got the better methods, who's got the better work ethic. That's what it comes down to. And if you are somebody that just you genuinely want to succeed, if you take action, you will be successful.
You hit the nail on the head with that one again, man. I just agree with you like that. There's always going to be competition no matter what you do. If you have a regular job, if you're an entrepreneur, someone's always going to be trying to outdo you. So just be the best version that you can be. And that's really what I would say. Do the things that you want to see done. And when you're going to, just guys, just go out and do it. We're trying to make it, we're trying to make it as simple as can be, but that's because it is simple. You got to get your foot.
It's literally phone flipping is buying low and selling high. Like that's all. That is literally all it is.
Couldn't agree more. That's all it is, man. But did you have anything else to add? It was awesome doing this interview. Or I don't know what you want to call this. I just wanted to hop on and honestly talk to you, bro.
Dude, it's been fun. And another thing, this is why I love kind of the setup that we have. We've both got our Facebook groups that we have for phone flipping. By the way, I'll post the links to my Facebook group and Joe's Facebook group. I'll post them in this video. So if you're not in any of them, join them. If you're in my group and you're not in his, join it. But why I love this community, why I love, and this is what, so your network is your net worth. The people that you will have success because of them. You'll learn from them. You'll glean information from them. My mentors, I've learned information from them that I would have never learned from anybody else. But I just love the tangible opportunity from being connected in this community on Facebook. For those of you that don't know, Joe, he was in my Facebook group. I don't know when you joined, probably a year and a half ago, a year ago.
Quite a while.
We didn't know each other. Well, he called me up over the summer. I was actually on the way back from a town 45 minutes ago. I was picking up phones. He called, we chatted, we became good friends, talked business and everything. Yep. When was it? November. Yeah. I drove up to Joe's place in South Carolina. We went and we caught a football game together. This is times are so different. The technology that and I sound like a boomer saying that. The technology we have now, like we have opportunities we've never had before. Opportunities to learn, opportunities to meet new people, opportunities to sell phones online. Like it's now more than ever is the time to be in phone flipping. Would you agree?
I completely agree with you there. And yeah, it was quite funny how we met honestly on the Facebook group, and now we're, pretty good friends and stuff like that. But
yeah, and
it's just like you are what you hang around. Your network is your network. So it's just like I saw I like how you carry yourself. You're a good person. You know your stuff in phone flipping, and you care about not only helping yourself, but you really care about the others around you. And I'm the same way. I like
absolutely you are. And just before we go, for those of you that don't know, so Joe, he went to University of South Carolina. Me personally, I'm a massive Florida Gator fan. Okay, South Carolina and Florida, they're in the same conference. They play each other every year. So I went up to his place. We went to the game together. Just out of curiosity, who ended up winning that game?
Yeah, the Gators won. We put up a good fight. You guys got lucky. All right.
South Carolina was winning the entire game, and
the entire game they were winning.
Yeah, and it was pouring rain, but we had a good time though.
We had a great time. It was a good game up until the very end. Both teams put up a fight, but you know what? Just happy we got to meet, talk business, and kind of share some of the same ideas, man. That's what.
And we're better because of it. We're better now because of that. So,
yes.
Well, hey, we wanted this video to be a little bit shorter than it was, but I think that we dropped some good value, some good knowledge in there. That being said, do you have anything else? Anything before we go, Joe?
Guys, just go out and do it. And you know what? This is the best time to get into phone flipping. You got tax returns coming up. We already talked about everything. You guys know what you need to do. If you're watching this right now, you obviously care about your life. You obviously want to better yourself in some way, shape, or form. Just go out and do it. And that's all I got to say, guys.
I love it. He said it all. I've got nothing else to add to that. If you don't know us and you want to get to know us, I'm going to drop the links to our Facebook groups below this video. Definitely get in them. If you're interested in going from point A to point B as quickly as possible, message us and we will get you there. We love talking to you guys. So that being said, Joe, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate you more than you know, and we're going to have to do this sometime soon.
Definitely, man. I appreciate, talking to me and stuff like that, man. It was a great time.
All right, man. Thanks, guys. We appreciate y'all.